Good evening and welcome to Kini News. Remember Ahmad Maslan, the MP who was nominated by the government to become the next Dewan Rakyat Deputy Speaker? It turns out he no longer wants the job. Pontian MP Ahmad Maslan has announced that he has withdrawn his candidacy for the Dewan Rakyat Deputy Speaker position.
Dan saya telah membuat keputusan untuk menarik diri daripada pencalonan Timbalan Speaker Dewan Rakyat. Sebab utamanya ialah kerana saya ingin menumpukan perhatian kepada kerja sebagai Setiausaha Agung UMNO yang memerlukan begitu banyak masa, lebih-lebih lagi dalam suasana yang mencabar yang kita tahu politik yang berlaku pada saat dan ketika ini.
Ahmad added that he had discussed his decision with the UMNO President, Deputy President and 3 Vice Presidents, including the Prime Minister. He said he had also met and informed Dewan Rakyat Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun. There was a vacancy for the Deputy Speaker post after Pengerang MP Azalina Othman Said resigned from the post. Ahmad was nominated by the government bloc for the position, while the opposition had nominated Teluk Intan MP Nga Kor Ming. A motion to postpone the Deputy Speaker election to the next Parliament sitting was passed on the 14th of September. Still on the topic of the Deputy Speaker post, Perikatan Nasional made a statement that they would not support a constitutional amendment for a third Deputy Speaker. Do you think we should have a third Deputy Speaker? I want to hear from you in the comments. Perikatan Nasional is against the proposal to create a third Deputy Speaker post and will not support any constitutional amendment for it. In a statement today, Perikatan Nasional Chairperson Muhyiddin Yassin said having 2 Deputy Speakers was enough. He said this as the Constitution allows any MP to chair the meeting when the Speaker and Deputy Speakers are not present. So what about the Memorandum of Understanding between the opposition and the federal government? Will not having a third post affect it? Muhyiddin has also commented on this. According to him, the MOU signed between Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob and Pakatan Harapan is limited to the agreed matters, and the constitutional amendment to add the third Deputy Speaker position was not one of them. Previously, it was reported that several politicians from Pakatan Harapan and Barisan Nasional had said that the government is looking into creating a third Deputy Speaker post. The post was supposed to be reserved for the opposition. Should you encounter a pothole in Kuala Lumpur, or when you encounter a pothole in Kuala Lumpur, there is now a whole new way to file a complaint. This is according to Federal Territories Minister Shahidan Kasim, who wants you to tell him directly where the problem is. You can now inform the Federal Territories Minister or the Kuala Lumpur Mayor if you encounter a pothole that needs to be fixed in the nation's capital. This came from the Federal Territories Minister Shahidan Kasim, who shared his actual phone number as well as that of his deputy and the KL Mayor in the Dewan Rakyat today.
Yang berhormat boleh hubungi Menteri 019-4545-111. Yang berhormat boleh menghubungi Timbalan Menteri 019-652-4444. Atau yang berhormat boleh hubungi Datuk Bandar 016-206-8883.
Hebat.
Kami bersiap siaga 24 jam. Rakyat Malaysia boleh hubungi. Yang baru datang Kuala Lumpur, terjumpa jalan berlopak dan berbahaya, hubungi. Dan kita akan ambil tindakan dalam masa 24 jam.
Shahidan said this in response to Batu MPP Prabhakaran, who had asked what is being done about potholes in the city. He added that the Kuala Lumpur City Hall or DBKL has agreed to act on any complaints of road damage in the capital within 24 hours. Coming up next, we head to Malacca to see what political parties are up to as the state prepares to take to the polls. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Uram, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Welcome back. PAS hasn't had a seat in the Malacca State Assembly since 2018, but they're prepared to change that because they're gearing up for the upcoming state election. PAS has announced that they are ready to face a state election in Malacca. This is according to PAS President Abdul Hadi Awang. He said PAS expresses deep regret over the dissolution of the Malacca State Assembly unexpectedly during the recovery period of the pandemic. He added that the party was ready to face any eventuality, including facing the state election if implemented. Hadi said they have set up a Malacca State Election Committee to formulate strategies to face the election. PAS had no seats in the recently dissolved State Assembly. PAS won its first and only Malacca State seat so far, while contesting alongside DAP and PKR in the now-defunct Pakatan Rakyat Coalition during the 2013 elections. They lost the seat to Amanah in the 2018 election. Out of the 4 assembly persons who had withdrawn their support for the Malacca state government, 3 of them have been sacked by their own party. So what about the 4th assembly person? Well, it turns out he doesn't need to be sacked because he doesn't have a party to begin with. 3 of the lawmakers who had withdrawn their support for outgoing Chief Minister Sulaiman Muhammad Ali and brought down the Malacca government have been sacked from their respective parties. UMNO Secretary General Ahmad Maslan confirmed that the party had sacked Sungai Udang Assembly person Idris Harun and Pantai Kundor Assembly person Nur Azman Hassan. Both have reportedly been issued letters about their sackings. Meanwhile, Bersatu Secretary General Hamzah Zainuddin said the party's political bureau had sacked Nur Effendi Ahmad. Hamzah added that the party was disappointed with the defections, especially at a time when the country was still in the early stages of recovery. The other assembly person who had withdrawn their support from the chief minister was Pengkalan Batu assembly person Nur Hizam Hassan Bakti, an independent. Their action led the chief minister to advise Malacca Governor Ali Rustam to dissolve the state legislative assembly and pave the way for state elections. There have been many debate challenges in Malaysia that prematurely ended with at least one party pulling out, sometimes at the 11th hour. However, the latest challenge issued by Transport Minister Wee Ka Siong to DAP's Lim Guan Eng might be happening after all. On the 30th of September, there was an argument in the Dewan Rakyat on the cabotage policy between Transport Minister Wee Ka Siong and Bagan MP Lim Guan Eng. In the midst of their argument, Wee challenged Lim to a debate on the matter, which the latter agreed to immediately. And it looks like a date for the debate will soon be set. This was conveyed by Dewan Rakyat Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun, who had previously offered to follow up on the issue.
Beliau kata beliau sedia menanti dan tidak akan lari. Yang Awak Menteri mengatakan bahawa setelah Kabinet memuktamadkan dasar kabotaj dalam bulan ini, maka beliau akan mengaturkan tarikh yang sesuai untuk membicara dan mengupas isu ini bersama Yang Berhormat Bagan di mana-mana saluran TV atau mana-mana rangkaian media di dalam bahasa kebangsaan.
Lim had raised the issue again in the Dewan Rakyat on the 5th of October, saying there had been no follow-ups on the debate challenge from Wee, prompting Azhar to volunteer to get the minister's feedback. He had also brought it up today, suggesting that they hold it on the 23rd of October. Previously, critics of the policy had called on the government to restore the Harapan-era exemption to expedite the repair of internet cables. Wee, however, maintained his decision to reinstate the cabotage, saying it would help the local shipping industry to develop. That's a wrap for Kini News this evening. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube to get the latest headlines as well. If you would like to support the independent media, please do consider a subscription to malaysiakini.com. When you're heading out, do not forget your mask. And when you can, please still do try to stay home. I'm Daniel Anthony. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe, Malaysia.